We're gonna have to be a little quicker today. I spent almost 3 hours dilly-dallying, so we need to get through pantothenic acid, biotin, and at least one of the fat-soluble vitamins because I also need to spend at least 45 minutes studying for my exam for institutional food service management. Yeah, it's so boring. I can't even remember the name of the class 10 weeks in to the semester. So here we go. Here we go. Pantothenic acid was first identified as a growth factor for yeast and an anti-dermatitis factor in chicks. So basically, what I'm understanding is that a lot of these we discovered because of animal husbandry. Purple pen today. Ugh, I'm trapped. I am trapped. Okay. First identified as a growth factor for yeast and an anti-dermatitis factor in chicks. It is made up of 2 molecules of pantoic acid and beta-alanine. What's beta-alanine? An amino acid. Pantos means from every side or everywhere, and it is called that because pantothenic acid is basically found in every food. It is a component of coenzyme A. Mhm. Pantothenate is vitamin B5 and is the key precursor for the biosynthesis of coenzyme A. Deficiency is rare. It is found in most plants, and it is also synthesized by your intestinal bacteria. APP. Pantothenic acid is widespread in food, as you can see here. It is found in all types of food, so a balanced diet is all you need to make sure that you get enough. Highest in sunflower seeds and lentils, which is great because I just made red lentil tofu today, so I get my B5. Fucking idiot. Excellent sources include organ meats, egg yolks, meats, fish, whole grain cereals, legumes, mushrooms, broccoli, avocados, and royal jelly from bees. Deficiency is rare. I already said that. About 85%. Oh, I never set my timer. We have to do the quizzes today, too. Well, the one quiz. It'll be all right. It's my own fault. So during digestion, pantothenic acid is liberated. About 85% of pantothenic acid in foods is provided as part of coenzyme A. Absorption occurs by a passive process at about 50% efficiency, and also by sodium multivitamin transporter carrier that is also used by biotin. All right, so basically, all B vitamins use carriers that rely on sodium. Sodium multivitamin transporter is used by pantothenic acid and biotin. The jejunum is the site of absorption for pantothenic acid. This is probably the stuff that I'm not gonna remember very well. Well, I mean, they all kind of have the same absorption site. It's mostly primarily in the jejunum and then secondarily in the duodenum and the ileum. That is true at least for thiamine. We're gonna have to go through all this fucking again. Pantothenic acid is transported to the liver via the portal vein. Excretion occurs by renal filtration. Transported to the liver by the portal vein, excreted by renal filtration. Pantothenic acid is used to make coenzyme A. It is involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, protein, fat, and ethanol. Interesting. CoA is an essential factor for cell growth and is involved in many metabolic reactions, including the synthesis of phospholipids, synthesis and degradation of fatty acids, and the operation of the tricarboxylic acid cycle. Coenzyme A activates molecules, allowing them to go forward in various energy pathways. Pantothenic acid is involved with various intermediates in energy cycles, serves as a component of acyl carrier protein, which is important in fatty acid synthesis. Actually, I remember that. Sorry, I hear a weird bird. Okay, pantothenic acid is used to make what? Coenzyme A. Absorption occurs in what? The jejunum. 85% of pantothenic acid in foods is provided as part of coenzyme A because why? Pantothenic acid is a component of coenzyme A and it is released during digestion. Absorption occurs by passive process and also by SMVT, sodium multivitamin transporter, which is also used by biotin. Yeah, we haven't talked about biotin yet, but that's okay. It is involved in the synthesis of phospholipids, synthesis and degradation of fatty acids, and the operation of the tricarboxylic acid cycle. I just had a realization. I don't really care to get an A on this test. I'm just gonna see what's gonna happen if I get a B. It's like, what if I get an 88? My grade is still a 96. And then what happens if I get... Oh, that's not up there. And if I only do okay on... Yeah, I'll be fine. Not that I'm going to hank anything else, hopefully. Focus. The adequate intake is 5 milligrams per day. When you are deficient in pantothenic acid, you experience burning feet, headache, fatigue, improper motor function. That's about it. Burning feet is really interesting. But deficiency is very rare and slow to develop. It is poorly stored, though. So you need to just be making sure that you are eating a lot of different types of foods. Nope. Deficiency symptoms include burning feet, headache, fatigue, impaired motor function, cramps, disturbances in the GI tract, vomiting, ulcers, cardiac problems, hypotension, reduced eosinophil output, hypochromic anemia, and hypoglycemia. But it is not a toxic vitamin. Did she cover this one? Yes. So we have 3 of these to go through. I might not have time to do any of the fat-soluble vitamins. I might just have to look over theirs at work again, but we're not skipping the gym. It's fine. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. All right, let's go through what we learned and do some highlighting. This time we're going to highlight in yellow. Don't know why that matters because you can't even see it. Okay, so pantothenic acid is made up of 2 molecule components, which are pantoic acid and beta-alanine. Also, it is a component of acetyl-CoA. It is involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and ethanol. It's involved in the synthesis of phospholipids. I can't remember shit. Got that. Got that. We know deficiency is rare and that it's made in plants and by your intestinal bacteria. Let's go back. Okay. Synthesis of phospholipids, synthesis and degradation of fatty acids, and the operation of the tricarboxylic acid cycle. I'm wondering how many questions are going to be like, which B vitamin is involved in the synthesis of phospholipids, synthesis and degradation of fatty acids, and the operation of the tricarboxylic acid cycle? I wondered. I didn't write that down because the last day that we had class, she fucking whooshed through the remaining 4 B vitamins. I guess she got like behind. We still have 3 more chapters to get through this semester. I need to start fucking checking these things and using my bullet journal more. Pantothenic acid is involved with various intermediates in energy cycles. It serves as a component of the acyl carrier protein, which is important in fatty acid synthesis. Coenzyme A activates molecules, allowing them to go forward in various energy pathways. The absorption process is passive, has 50% efficiency. Oh my God, words. And it utilizes sodium multivitamin transporter, also used by biotin. It occurs in the jejunum. Pantothenic acid is transported to the portal vein or to the liver by the portal vein, and it is excreted by renal filtration. The adequate intake is 5 milligrams per day. Deficiency symptoms involve burning feet, headache, fatigue, improper motor function, cramps, disturbances in the GI tract, vomiting, ulcers, cardiac problems, hypotension, reduced eosinophil output, hypochromic anemia, and hypoglycemia. but there is no reported toxicity of B5. All right, cool. And while I'm here, I am going to go back over niacin because I didn't do it on film last night, but once I turned off the camera, I did read through the section in the PowerPoint slides. So just real quick, niacin can be synthesized from the amino acid tryptophan, and 60 milligrams of tryptophan can render 1 milligram of niacin. It is involved in alcohol metabolism. There are two there are two active coenzyme forms, nicotinamide and nicotinic acid. Idiot. It's involved in the production of ATP, the synthesis of fatty acids, and cholesterol. And it is found in yeast, meat and fish, peanuts, and lentils. Nicotinic acid can be formed from tryptophan. Nicotinic acid is digested to nicotinamide. It is absorbed mostly in the small intestine, and it relies on sodium-dependent and saturable facilitated diffusion mechanisms. It has two active forms. One is NAD, which is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Yes. Involved in glycolysis and the citric acid cycle. Then the other form is NADH, nicotinamide adenine dihydroxynucleotide. Nope. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. NADP, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, involved in fatty acid and cholesterol synthesis. The RDA is 12 to 16 milligrams niacin equivalent per day. NE means niacin equivalent. Deficiency results in a condition called pellagra, characterized by symptoms following the 3 Ds: dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia, and you pretty much just die very uncomfortably. It is used as a medical supplement to lower cholesterol, LDL, and triglyceride. The way that that works is niacin um, interrupts the initial um, what's the word? The initial separation, the initial oxidation of a triglyceride into free fatty acids, which prevents them from being transported to the liver, prevents them from being re uh, reconstructed into triglycerides, which are then transported out of the liver by very low density lipoproteins, which become low density lipoproteins, which is also called bad cholesterol. That is how that works. You experience toxicity if you consume over 50 milligrams per day, and the results of that would be high blood pressure, flushing skin. A girl in class said that it basically feels like you have like a full body sunburn, cardiac arrhythmia, nausea, vomiting, elevated blood sugar, impaired liver function. It's involved in mitochondrial health and age-related disorders. It is involved in silent information regulator 2, also known as SIRT. Deacetylase allows increased expression of key enzymes. insulin secretion, gluconeogenesis, mitochondrial biogenesis, endothelial function, lipid metabolism, cell cycling, and apoptosis, or cell death. Something about forkhead box protein 1, FOXO1. It is a transcriptional factor. It is increased with NAD plus levels and SERTs, resulting in better fatty acid metabolism and protection from oxidative stress. I turned it the wrong way again. All right, and we just did, I already talked about pellagra. During the early 1900s in the southeastern United States, this was a huge epidemic, pretty much, although they did not realize that it was not caused by actual bacteria or virus. It was caused by the heavy corn diets of poor people and prisoners. Because there is a low bioavailability of niacin in corn and low tryptophan. So when you're low tryptophan, tryptophan cannot be used to convert or to synthesize niacin. And earlier we did say that how many milligrams of tryptophan result in 1 milligram of niacin? 60. Correct. They use lime water because calcium hydroxide frees niacin, making it bioavailable. Between 1938 and 1954, deaths from pellagra dropped to 0 after they began enriching flour with niacin. So toxicity is very serious and can result in liver damage, but people are often given supplements because it has been proven to prevent atherosclerosis, diabetes, and hypercholesterolemia. It is also helpful for burn wound recovery, the prevention of cataracts, and skin cancer. It lowers your TAG, LDL, and increases your HDL. I've dropped my pin. Got it. Good. Next is pyridoxine. There are 6 chemical forms that exist in humans. They are important for amino acid and protein metabolism. They are a group of compounds including pyridoxal, pyridoxine, and pyridoxamine. Pyridoxal phosphate is the active form which all compounds convert to. It is needed for over 100 enzymes involved in carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. It helps to form the heme in hemoglobin. And then I have written here that the main circulating form is pyridoxal phosphate that is transported within the cells or bound to albumin. It is needed for 100 enzymes. We got that. Pyridoxine is the alcohol form, pyridoxal is the aldehyde form, and pyridoxamine is the amine form, found in plant foods, phosphorylated derivatives in meat, fish, poultry. Uncooked food provides better bioavailability because it is sensitive to heat and light. It is metabolized in the liver. These are the forms. Got your alcohol group, aldehyde group, and the amine group right here. 3 forms of vitamin B6. The asterisk is the site of the phosphate group to form pyridoxine phosphate. Paradoxal phosphate and paradoxamine phosphate, respectively. But paradoxal phosphate is the version that they will all be converted to. Found in plant foods such as bananas, navy beans, and walnuts. Paradoxal and paradoxamine and their phosphorylated derivatives are found in animal products, meat, fish, and poultry. But like I just said, that can be killed because it's sensitive to light and heat. Phosphate groups are removed during digestion. I forgot to study those enzymes. The phosphate groups are removed during digestion. The absorption of the non-phosphorylated forms takes place by diffusion. Absorption is very efficient. Liver is the primary organ for metabolism. Paradoxal phosphate is the main circulating form of vitamin B6, and it is transported either within the cells or bound to albumin. Like I already said, it is a coenzyme for more than 100 enzymes. It's involved in transamination reactions, deamination and decarboxylation reactions, and the creation of non-essential amino acids. Transsulfhydration and desulfhydration reactions, I don't actually know those. The formation of neurotransmitters, glycogenolysis, heme production and iron incorporation into heme, sphingolipid and phospholipid synthesis, and immunity. Transamination is a reversible reaction. Mm. I don't know how well I'm going to do on this. I guess she wanted us to know this because I wrote it down. I guess memorizing the these two reactions, the aspartate and alpha ketoglutarate to oxaloacetate and glutamate, involving uh, in this one aspartate aminotransferase, AST, and I guess I'll write that down. AST is aspartate aminotransferase. And then ALT is alanine aminotransferase. What? Oh, I never set the timer. Hello? A referral link? Who did that? I don't know what that means. Keep sharing to get your first sign up. Now I have to Google what this is. I don't care about that. All right, it's 12:30. And then the other reaction I need to be familiar with is the alanine and alpha ketoglutarate, which uses the alanine aminotransferase enzyme to produce pyruvate and glutamate through the process of transamination. They require the coenzyme pyridoxal phosphate in order to achieve these. Okay, so then you have the deamination of amino acids involving only the removal of an amino group from an amino acid. There is no transfer of the amino group to another compound. The amino group is released as ammonia. Some amino acids that are more commonly deaminated include glutamate, histidine, serine, glycine, and threonine. Deaminase enzymes carrying out the deamination reactions are generally lyases, dehydrotases, and dehydrogenases. Um, Also involving pyridoxal phosphate. The ammonia is then used to synthesize urea. The recommended level for B6 is 1 to 1.3 milligrams per day for adults. Deficiency is rare, but various drugs can cause deficiency. Alcohol is known to destroy some B6 structures. B6 deficiency can result in central nervous system effects, convulsions, depressed symptoms, peripheral neuritis, poor growth, decreased antibody formation, weakness, irritability, insomnia, and dermatitis. B6 can be very toxic, and symptoms include irreversible nerve damage and numbness. RDA is what? 1 to 1.3 milligrams per day. Sorry I'm yawning so much. This shit is fucking boring. But it is um, probably the class I'm taking right now that is most relevant to what I care about and why I got into nutrition. So here we are. Okay, so the last one I'm going to go over is biotin, and then we're going to take the quiz. So now it is highlighting time. What is the most active form? What is the active form of pyridoxine from which all compounds convert to? Pyridoxal phosphate. PLP. And pyridoxal phosphate is the aldehyde form. Good job. Then what's the alcohol form? Pyridoxine. And the amine form? Pyridoxamine. Good. It's all about the names. Pyridoxine is found in pretty much everything. That's correct. But it is best when consumed from raw foods. Why? Because it's sensitive to heat and light. Good job. And where is pyridoxine metabolized? Which organ? The liver. Yup. How many enzymes is pantothenic acid needed for? Over 100. And it's involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, fat, and protein, as well as the heme and hemoglobin. She puts the heme and hemoglobin. Let's talk about the ketoglutarate transamination reactions. So we have the alanine aminotransferase enzyme, which in combination with PLP, acting as a coenzyme, converts alanine and alpha ketoglutarate to pyruvate and glutamate. I think. And then we have the aspartate reaction, which is almost the same. Aspartate aminotransferase and PLP as a coenzyme convert aspartate and alpha ketoglutarate to shit. Oh no, I was right. Okay, I got the first one right. Alanine and alpha ketoglutarate produce pyruvate and glutamate with PLP and ALT, alanine aminotransferase. Aspartate and alpha ketoglutarate produce, oxaloacetate and glutamate with the aspartate aminotransferase and pyridoxal phosphate coenzyme. Talking about pyridoxine B6, B5, yeah, B6, yes. Functions. It is involved in transamination and deamination. One of the deamination reactions is that of threonine to alpha ketobutyrate, which results in the production of an ammonium molecule. It's a coenzyme for deamination enzymes. Deaminase enzymes are generally lyases, dehydratases, and dehydrogenases. Common amino acids that are deaminated are glutamate, histidine, serine, glycine, and threonine. We also help out with glycogenolysis, the formation of neurotransmitters, the creation of non-essential amino acids, transulfhydration and desulfhydration, heme production and iron incorporation into heme, sphingolipid and phospholipid synthesis, as well as immunity. The RDA is 1 to 1.3 milligrams per day. Various drugs and alcohol can cause deficiencies. Alcohol can destroy some B6 complexes. Some symptoms include central nervous system issues, convulsions, depression, decreased antibodies, weakness, etc. but toxicity can result in irreversible nerve damage and numbness. That's going to be it for pantothenic acid. We have to move on. Would have been nice if I hadn't lost 2 whole days this week, but it is what it is. My tit is pretty short. Okay, and we're gonna use a different color for this one because it's getting confusing. Back to purple. Biotin functions as a coenzyme in energy metabolism, including pathways like the citric acid cycle, the synthesis of fatty acids, glucose, and some amino acids, DNA replication and transcription of genes, cell development and growth, healthy hair and nails. This is the sulfur-containing B vitamin. Biotin, the only one that starts with a B, has sulfur. That's not how I'm going to remember it, but rats who were fed raw egg protein had hair loss, dermatitis, and neuromuscular dysfunction, while egg yolks provide a good dietary source of biotin. Consuming them raw regularly for an extended period of time causes biotin deficiency because avidine present in egg whites tightly binds biotin, making it biologically unavailable for intestinal absorption. Mm. Synthesis of fatty acids, glucose, and some amino acids, cell development and growth. Avidine is a protein in raw egg whites that binds biotin. It is heat and light stable. It can be synthesized by the gut microbiome, transported by SMVT, excreted by urinary filtration, and stored in muscles, brain, and liver tissue. What was SMVT? Sodium multivitamin transporter, which also transports pantothenic acid. Biotin is widespread in foods. Excellent sources include liver and organ meats, egg yolks, brews, yeast, legumes, nuts, soy flour, and soybeans, whole grains, and some fish. Biotin is either free or bound to proteins. Deficiency is rare unless you eat a lot of raw egg whites. Avidine decreases biotin absorption efficiency, but cooking the eggs denatures the avidine, making the biotin more available. Biotin is transported as free biotin or bound to plasma proteins. It is excreted by urinary filtration. It is stored in muscles, brain, and liver tissue. It is needed to metabolize carbohydrates, fatty acids, and leucine. It replenishes oxaloacetate from pyruvate. Oh, so it takes the hydrogen from pyruvate, converting it to oxaloacetate. Oxalation. Several carboxylase enzymes require biotin, and it is a cofactor for multiple carboxylation reactions. May play a role in other reactions involving amino acids, and purine synthesis helps the nervous system to function properly. Biotin helps add a CO2 to pyruvate to form oxaloacetate, a compound in the TCA cycle. This is a key step in gluconeogenesis. Biotin helps break down leucine, threonine, methionine, and isoleucine. Breaks down leucine. I didn't write any of this down. Breaks down leucine, threonine, methionine, and isoleucine to be used in the production of energy through the TCA cycle. Biotin plays a key role in synthesizing fatty acids from acetyl-CoA. Often recommended for strengthening hair, skin, and nails. Helps to strengthen hair follicles from within and promotes the production of keratin, a protein that forms a structural component of our hair strands. Additionally, biotin aids in maintaining healthy skin by supporting cell growth and repair processes. The AI is 20 to 30 micrograms per day for adults. Deficiency is rare. Marginal status is possible. With a chronic consumption of raw eggs, there can also be inborn errors of metabolism that may produce biotin deficiency. The main symptom is dry, scaly skin with a gray hue. Toxicity is also rare. Because so much of it is excreted in the urine. Okay, to review, biotin is the only B vitamin that contains, well, that we've gone over so far, sulfur. It is a coenzyme in energy metabolism in the following pathways: the citric acid cycle and the synthesis of fatty acids, glucose, and some amino acids, cell development growth, resulting in healthy hair and nails. What is the protein that binds biotin found in raw egg whites? Avidine. What destroys avidine? Heat. Biotin is heat and light stable and is also synthesized by the gut microbiome. It is transported by which protein? Sodium multivitamin transporter. It is excreted by urinary filtration, but it can be stored in liver tissue, muscles, and the brain. It is a cofactor for what types of reactions? carboxylation reactions. And what does it convert pyruvate into? Oxaloacetate. Good job. And what is the AI? 20 to 30 micrograms per day. How rare is deficiency? Very rare. But if you do experience deficiency, what symptoms do you have? Dry, scaly skin, skin with a gray hue. And then we also have some other ones. Loss of epithelial cells, atrophy of the tongue and GI tract cells, anorexia, nausea, alopecia, growth retardation, hearing and visual loss, metabolic acidosis, and elevated blood ammonia. And toxicity is just as rare. All right. I'm going to stop with the PowerPoints there and work on some of these enzymes. Okay. I know you can't see this, so it's not going to be as fun, but I have to learn these. All right, let's do the thiamine ones because I did the other ones last night. The coenzyme forms of niacin are nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, NAD and NADP. NAD is involved in glycolysis and the Krebs cycle. During the step where glyceraldehyde is phosphorylated to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, the enzyme involved is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Niacin acts as an electrolyte. NAD acts as an electron carrier, enabling ATP production in glycolysis. Then in the Krebs cycle, isocitrate is converted to alpha-ketoglutarate and NADH, involving the coenzyme NAD and the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. In this reaction, NAD aids in oxidative decarboxylation, driving the Krebs cycle. So specific. It'll be all right. Finally, NADP reacts with H2O to form NADPH in the pentose phosphate pathway. And this one is not obvious. Glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase is the enzyme in this one. NADP is reduced to NADPH, essential for fatty acid synthesis and antioxidant defense. Okay. I'm try to quiz myself a little bit. All right, let's go back to B1. Diamine pyrophosphate is the coenzyme form in all three of these reactions. Pyruvate dehydrogenase is the first enzyme for which it is a coenzyme, oxidizing pyruvate, enabling acetyl-CoA formation. Then the next one is the alpha-ketoglutarate to succinyl reaction with alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex. We'll get there. In the Krebs cycle, TPP aids in oxidative decarboxylation, converting alpha-ketoglutarate to succinyl-CoA. Finally, the Zylulose 5-phosphate reaction involves trans-ketolase in the pentose phosphate pathway, facilitating a two-carbon transfer for nucleotide and amino acid synthesis. Having so much fun. All right, we're going to switch gears here. We're going to do a little bit of institutional food management. Oh, wait, no, I'm doing the quiz. I've heard it's really not fun. 13 questions. Thought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 short answer. I don't think I ever read the word hydroxylated. Oh, I guess I did. These enzymes catalyze the hydroxylation of proline and lysine residues of procollagen. So, without vitamin C as the cofactor for prolyl hydroxylase and lysyl hydroxylase, um, they would be underhydroxylated. Synthesis of coenzyme A starts with the phosphorylation of which vitamin? Pantothenic acid? I don't think this test is going to go so well. This is not the test, by the way. It's obviously a practice quiz. Synthesis of coenzyme A starts with the phosphorylation of which vitamin? Can niacin slow down atherosclerosis progression? Answer with a yes or no. Yes. What amino acid and vitamin deficiency causes pellagra? Explain, list the characteristic features of pellagra and what happens when untreated. Yep, I knew it. Vitamins are synthesized by the gut bacteria. Biotin. I do need to make a chart. She was right. Let's just look up every word we see every time we see gut. That didn't work. Okay. Thiamine has that. She's fucking tripping. What's going on, Buki? You were sleeping. Mm. Oh, I'm getting tired. You know, Hello. We're Googling these, by the way. That's where I'm. My blindness. That's what I said. Am I gonna open the book for this? Yeah, I am. Oh, thank God. Self with spoke. Back to Peach. If you give me a second, hey, stop. Stop. Let me finish. Stop. Let me just finish this word. Please. Oh my God. I'm so over this. I think that's enough for today. Fuck this shit. I guess I'm gonna have to stay up late one of these nights. I tried. I tried. Here's what's bothering me though. She's not going to grade these um essay questions before the exam. So how is this test helpful? Stop. All right. Y'all, enjoy your day. I'm not going to. Thanks for watching.